So, after the last video that I made, I kept thinking about a weird event or strange happening that happened many years ago. I think it was based on where I was living, it was somewhere between 2002 and 2004. I think it happened in 2004. So, here's what happened. I was living in this place where I had in the front yard was a little stairway with those metal, little handrail. And I locked my bike to that little metal handrail. And then one day I heard some rustling out in my front yard. And this story is about, you need to pray about it. Is this God doing this? Like, what is the meaning of this? Okay? So, just, so here's what happened. I hear this rustling out my front, right? So I walk to the door. And when I open the door, there's this guy walking away, right? And, I'm just like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh, nothing, wrong house. And he walked off, right? And then so I walked away. And the next morning, when I went outside, my bike was gone. So then I realized, oh, that guy was stealing my bike. And I didn't realize it. I mean, my bike was still there the night before when I saw him. And so he must have come back and taken the bike. But if he had asked for the bike, I would have given it to him. Because I never rode it. It was a pretty nice bike, too. So I didn't really care that it was stolen. I mean, you know. And I'd seen the kid in the neighborhood. I didn't know him or anything, but he lived nearby somewhere. So then one day, I'm out in the front yard watering the yard, and I hear this, like, anyway, these two guys are out there, and they get into a fight, right? And one of the guys, so what happened is basically, I was out, well, maybe I wasn't, I don't know if I was watering the lawn, but I know I heard a commotion outside. No, I think I was watering though. Anyway, whatever I was doing, I remember just hearing a commotion and seeing this group, like maybe 4 or 5 young people, coming from down the street. And next thing I know, they broke out into a fight. And one of them, the two guys who got into a fight, one of them was the guy that stole my bike. And then he got beat up right in front of my house. Okay, so there was that. Then, less than 2 weeks later, and I'm telling the truth, less than 2 weeks later, um, it was nighttime, and I heard scuffling going on in front of my house. Oh no! First of all, let me finish. The kid that had stole my bike not only got beat up in front of my house, but he literally got body slammed by the other guy, like picked up and thrown on the ground. And all the other guys were like, "Ooh, he got body slammed!" Like totally shaming him for getting beat up too. It's terrible. I felt sorry for the kid. I didn't have anything against him. Nothing at all. I would have given him the bike. Okay, I'm just saying. So, then probably like less than 2 weeks later, now the way where I lived, there was a street light right out in front of my house where I lived, and there was, at night, if the windows weren't covered, you could just walk into the kitchen. There was enough light from that street light that you didn't need to use a night light or anything like that. Anyway, that street light lit up the whole inside because of the windows. So anyway, so it was pretty bright outside. Anyway, so I came out of my room and I heard this scuffle going on. And I go to that window and I could clearly see there's a fight going on out there. And it's that same guy, and he got body slammed again right in front of my place. And this time it was nighttime. And it happened right under the light. I clearly saw it. And then the other guy walks away, and it was a different guy who was beating him up. And the other guy walks away, and he laid there on the ground for a minute going, "Ah!" and all this. And I remember feeling really weird, like sad for this guy. Like, man, he's going through a hard time. But at the same time, I always wondered, is that like, first of all, I don't think anybody reaps judgment for just one thing they do. So I'm not going to say that I thought that all that happened because he stole my bike. he had to have been out there picking fights with other people and doing a bunch of stupid stuff with all the people that were beating him up. But the fact that it happened 2 times within a week, right in front of my house, and both times he got body slammed, and the second time he laid there in the street going, like the most saddest, pathetic, like, just, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of actually sad. He laid there for a minute in a fetal position going, ah! It was really, really sad, actually. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like, Lord have mercy. Like, I hope this is not happening because he stole my bike. And that's why I attribute things to God, you know. Like, when you see stuff like that happen, you wonder, why is it going to happen twice in front of my house? I mean, couldn't he have gotten beat up somewhere else that I didn't even know about? You know, like, I would have felt more comfortable with that. But sometimes you don't know if I believe in God. So to me, I'm like, wow, God. And so in the last video, I was talking about how, you know, if God has something against someone, I'm gonna step back and be like, you go. I don't need to edge God on or hold him back. You got to be careful. God is real. God is real, you guys. I'm just saying, and when I tell you World War III is coming, and just because it hasn't happened, and people want to belittle that or laugh about it, I'm telling you, I clearly saw. I even remember clearly seeing remember the Falcon 9 Heavy when Elon Musk launched that car, the Tesla, up into space. You know what? In 2015 or 16, and I can't find the video, but I talked about it in one of my videos. I had a dream where I saw, and I thought it was a Titan 4 rocket, because the Titan 4 is the one with the 3. It's got the 2 big boosters on each side and the main pod. But when I looked at the Titan, out of all the rockets that I saw in the vision, the closest one was the Titan 4. Okay, so I thought it was a Titan 4, but I did notice in that when I looked at the Titan 4, the nose cone top was different. So I thought it's not that, but it looks like that. Anyway, I'm just saying, I clearly saw the Falcon 9 Heavy launch, which was in 2017. I clearly saw a vision of that in 2000, probably somewhere in 2015. And I put it in one of my videos, a description of what I was saying, but I've made so many videos and I can't, I mean, I'd have to go through hours and hours of video to find the, but I know I remember seeing it. Anyway, so what I'm saying is God is real. He does predict the future. World War III is going to happen. You do need to be ready and have supplies. And it is China that starts World War III. I don't know if you know what's going on in Hong Kong, but eventually, and when I say starts world, we are in World War III right now. We are well into World War III. What I'm talking about is the nuclear strike. Okay, and I should differentiate between that. But anyway, the point is, in my last video, I was talking about how, like, if somebody messes with me and wants to harm me, I've seen God move on my behalf many times, not just once. So I'm just saying, y'all need to be careful. Y'all who are gang stalking me, messing with me, trying to set me up with. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if my previous so-called girlfriend was the first of the gang stalkers. And the more I think about how we met, like, she sent me all these messages online, at message after message, and I usually didn't even reply. I thought it was anyway. And then one day she starts sending me a message with her number saying you have to call me and all this. So I'm wondering if she was one of the first of the gang stalkers, because if she was, like, any time that I spent with her has directly led to where I'm at right now with these gang stalkers. Definitely, definitely a lawsuit against the FBI if they have put me in that situation with that girl and then pushed me into a corner where I'm at right now. That is wrong. I mean, what if if it wasn't for them, I'd probably be living somewhere totally different from where I'm at now and living a different way than I'm living now. I mean, they've manipulated my life in such a way that where I'm at now, that's undetermined where I would be if they had left me alone. And any psychological trauma I have from this, or from my childhood that they're making worse. You know, like if I have like some, I'm just saying, these people are gang stalking me and not just messing my life up, but they're messing me up in the head. And I'm telling you, I'm going to win a lawsuit against, I'm going after, you know, if this lady from the past thinks that she's going to come into my life, and I'm just saying, these people, man, they think they're going to do something to me. They're not. I'm going to win. I already know. I'm just saying, we'll never get to trial because World War III is going to happen. But if it doesn't happen, and that's the other thing. People want to know what my plans are. I'll tell you what my plans are. To sue the living daylights out of anybody who has said anything negative about me, publicly or privately, that's not true. Especially if it pertains to anything that's felonious. And I'm talking hunting down anybody with net worth that I can prove said anything negative about me. And putting everybody under oath, and see if they lie, and if they lie, prove them a liar and press charges for lying under oath. And if anybody will testify to the truth, finding the truth in a way that's called due process. I'm serious. And getting the whole truth out there. Not just your version of the truth that came in the last 6 months or heard a rumor. That's not the truth. And if somebody told you to lie to me or tells you to lie under oath, that's additional criminal charges against them. So you want to know what I'm up to? I'll tell you what I'm up to. I'm about to file a lawsuit and win. That's right. And I'm about to disappear. Okay, so you're going to not be able to even find me. I'm just saying. You will look and not be able... I like the idea of everybody wondering where the fuck I am. That's if World War III doesn't happen. And I've done it before. I know how to do it. I've enjoyed it in the past. It's so freeing. I'm just saying. When I say disappear, I don't mean intentionally. I mean just disappear from you. I'll reappear. I know places where I go where people will say that I'm a prophet of God. I'm just saying. They'll be like, I'm just saying. But I'm not going anywhere near people that I've known in the past. Staying away from everybody. Filing a lawsuit against you suckers. I know people think I can't do it. You have no idea. Oh, shit. I'm just looking forward to putting people under oath. First thing. Get their testimony. And say, you do realize you're under oath. It's a felony to lie right now. Go ahead. And then when they lie, I'm going to prove them a liar. Anyway. I know it's going to happen. I think World War III is going to happen before any of that. But just thinking about it makes me laugh. How much net worth... I mean, these people, they're trying to destroy me. I should be able to take a little bit from each one of them. I'm just saying. Especially if it goes back more than like 3 years. If they've been following me for 3-4 years. I mean, geez, man. Talk about... And then the recent events of them trying to frame me. I'm just saying. Oh, you guys are... I mean, it's a corrupt group of people who are completely corrupt. Willing to lie under oath. Having circumvented justice. I'm just saying.